Hello again. So in Dutch education, and I presume it has to be the same in English education, the books Animal Farm and 1984 from George Orwell are handled in English class. And that means, I think, partly read out by the teacher, or you need to read some of it yourself, and then the teacher also tells you something about it. And it must have been the same in the UK and in the USA. And these are Animal Farm is about communism, and 1984 is about oppressive regimes, which is really similar. And this is exactly what describes cults. So it's not just communism, it's cults as well. And also narcissistic abuse. For example, someone mentioned here in the comments of this video that she was in a narcissistic abusive relationship, and the similarity with cults is really, really big. Yes, that's because these leaders are usually narcissists. In this case, I would say he's probably a narcissist. So this is this guy. The Enlightenment Fraud of Zen Master Rama. Interesting video from Atrocity Guide. Here I would already say he looks like a wimp. And a wimp is a sort of person who hasn't got a strong personality. He attaches himself to others. And it's related to narcissism. I would say here it looks like he's got lipstick on and he looks effeminate. And that means like a wimp. And if you look at this video, or watch this video rather, look at this section.
Computer science and the world. I know a lot about people.
This guy looks like a woman.
I help people out whenever I can, but I'm also street
in his mannerisms, not just his face. It's really weird. And the interesting, actually more interest, this video is okay, but it doesn't show enough of himself talking, and from what the way someone talks and what he says, you can deduce a lot. For example, he says himself that he's streetwise, and that's an indication for someone who is a bullshitter. And that's what he applies in this in his cult. But the really incriminating comment is from some commenters. One commenter is in particular. It gives much better information, I should say, put it like that. And he belonged to a group called, led by a guy called Sri Chen Moi, making really stupid music and painting simplistic stuff and making poems that are not worth anything, and putting out a lot of them that just has no value. And then you wonder, why doesn't this guy I'm a bit under the weather still. This guy Sri Chen Moi, I think I can put him, show a bit here perhaps. Where I need to check. Oh, what's here? This guy.
This facial expression Chinmoy adopted became the
This I think is a probably, I haven't looked at him enough, but someone said in the comments that he's probably either a really good teacher or he's a narcissistic sociopath. Yeah, they're almost always narcissists or psychopaths. In any case, this is interesting. I've seen Sri Chinmoy in a theater in San Diego. They were giving out tickets to his free music concerts at the Organic Co-op. I knew nothing of what he was, but like, hey, whatever, let's go and hear music. At the beginning, there was a man who said he was a student of Sri Chinmoy, talking about these positive messages he made to make you happy. He had his paintings across the state that looked like crayons, scribbles, paintings with in quotation marks. Chinmoy's thing at the time was lifting up the world, blah, 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 blah. He came out, started grabbing instruments, creating the most awful sounds you've ever heard. Why doesn't he realize it himself that what he produces is shit? Well, actually, it is the same with antisocial people everywhere. They do not introspect, they do not self-criticize, they do not look at themselves for anything. They assume that they're fantastic and they're doing a great job. That's why you see, for example, these psychopaths at the helm of companies, running it into the ground, and then being surprised when the company goes bankrupt and saying something like, "Yeah, I was doing a great job, but yeah, we had all these things that were just not going well. We could do nothing about it." It's like the general economic situation or something, or some other company doing this or that. And they just don't look at themselves as the cause for anything, and they don't see themselves as doing anything bad. If you think, by the way, that antisocial people lie about certain things, for example, in politics as well, or but in companies as well, if that they lie about, or Putin as well, that they lie about doing a great job, or that everything's going well. No, they're actually not lying. The crazy thing is that they really believe what they say, but they always excuse it by others that they're doing a fantastic job, but others are just doing things that hinder them, and they're creating problems, and it's nothing we could do anything about, or would know anything about in advance, etc. That's how it works. It's really weird. This guy was a follower, and he said that all his concerts were like that. Students would work for free to promote the concerts. Then within 30 minutes of Chinmoy playing, the auditorium would be empty of any people except his students. He went on like this for years. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is this guy. Chinmoy made some very lofty claims for himself regarding his own spiritual achievements, so I knew even back then that he was either telling the truth or was a sociopathic narcissist. I chose to believe the former, and choosing to believe is a big problem, but also desires. I will go into that with some preparatory videos for the interview that I'm going to do. I'm not yet sure when it's going to happen exactly. There are some circumstances that may delay this. But I'm going to do the preparatory videos in any case about, for example, Janja Lalic, who had been in a cult and then became sort of a cult expert, but she doesn't understand various things, and that I'm going to show you. In one of the comments also, oh no, it's earlier. So the whole enlightenment and self-help group, that's one giant mess of people who are just bullshitting mostly. But if you want to read an interesting book on this topic, on meditation, enlightenment, and oh, this is also funny, then I would recommend what was it called? Autobiography of a Yogi by I forgot the name. Autobiography of a Yogi. Yeah. Yogananda, yes, that's it. That's a very interesting book. And here this guy makes a comment and makes a joke. Having sex with my students is not physical, it's a strictly spiritual interchange. Oh cool, then can I? No man. That's funny. And someone mentions Krishnamurti, who was a boy recruited by or used by, educated by theosophists. And he's supposed to be really intelligent, blah, blah, blah. I looked at something he said and I thought, no, he's not. It's the same as with Bhagwan, Rajneesh Osho. He wasn't smart. He was a moron. He thought he was smart, but he wasn't. Not really. That's a sort of overestimation that a lot of people have when they're good at something. They think they're good. They're much better than they really are. But he was a narcissist. I call him a narcissistic psychopath, which is a psychopathic superiorist. So he doesn't need praise. He gives it to himself. But it comes from an inferiority complex, and you can read that already on his Wikipedia page. This is an interesting, it's further down, that's Krishnamurti. Wait a minute, this is interesting comments. K Megan 08, and that is close to the top, and that's someone who's been in there. She says, of course you don't know anything is true that you read, but let's assume it's true. And generally that's true, of course, of anything that you read anywhere. You don't know anything is true. But okay. This is actually very interesting and important to go with this. This does not give enough information about the inner workings of what he did. There should be a bit more about it. Let's see, Krishnamurti. Search. Yes, that's this one. Krishnamurti, who then renounced his mission and lives in the shadow with J. Krishnamurti, book written by the daughter of a married woman who also claims Krishnamurti carried on an affair with for 25 years, so that's not very enlightened, nor close to enlightened, nor even understanding anything about life. Yeah, that's not just what you do. But this, never following a guru, says he. Yeah, okay, even himself. Yes, people need to go their own way. That's my view as well. However, he wasn't intelligent. From what I saw of a video, I thought, no. I'll go into that some other time. Someone made a comment here, which, if true, so this was long ago. Krishnamurti was a narcissist who betrayed Niels Bohr by having an affair with his wife. If you have an affair with anyone's wife, you're a piece of shit. But anyway, this Krishnamurti was not smart. And another says Uge, as if I'm speaking in Russian, Uji, or Uge Krishnamurti, the Uge, the German more. A very uncompromising guy. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Saw this, for example. Thought destroys life. No, it doesn't. That's absolute bullshit. He doesn't understand. From that I know that he doesn't understand life. So this is a narcissist. Probably, almost certainly, the other one that I showed already. It starts a narcissist. And this guy, was it 35 minutes? This guy.
By the end.
A lot about people.
So he looks effeminate. He looks like a wimp. And it makes me think about, for example, also this guy. So he's a psychologist, but I showed this to a picture to a relative of mine, and I said, what do you think of him? She said, he looks like a guy who could have multiple wives. I said, I'd only watched a little bit of one video, and I said, to me he looks like a wimp. And she said, that's the same thing. And I said, yes, it is. And that's what you have here, having sex with multiple women. This guy is a wimp, going to narcissists, and he needs that to fulfill himself. He attaches himself to others to make his personality be something, because he has very little of personality. I would say his first scam is actually his PhD, because it's in a topic that has absolutely no value. Something about some poetry and death of a guy, and researching it. It has absolutely zero value. But Animal Farm, and 1984. So these books, but also Brave New World. I think that was also taught in English class, from what I remember vaguely. I didn't like any of these books. I think this was taught, or you'd read it maybe when you were 14 or 15. and 1984 maybe 16, and Brave New World around the same time, I think. Of course, the issue is that pupils, children of that age are not interested in any politics, and you think, what the hell why is it important? You don't know. It should be taught very differently, which is that people are manipulating you. And that can happen, and it does happen already at much earlier ages, at that time already. Although, and coincidentally, I was, someone asked me, was it 2 days ago, about Darren Brown, if I'd seen the videos, and he sent a link to a clip, and I already knew before opening it what it was about. And it reminded me of the bullshitting that goes on in certain neighborhoods, and that streetwise, which is something I think in particular in the USA very different from the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, you barely have any of this. You have this culture going on, people telling others the biggest bullshit they can do and just seeing what they can get away with. That's what it looks like. And you get a certain amount of training, as it were, in applying that all the time and trying it with everyone, and you need to become you will become resistant from it as well by encountering it all the time. And if you don't have that, then also you can fall into the trap of nonsense stories. And that doesn't really happen in the Netherlands when you're 12 to 15 or so. There are people telling you bullshit stories, but not like what I've seen in the US, in what's happening there in certain neighborhoods. And so maybe there it would be, in the USA, it would be more pupils would get more of an impression of, hey, this is happening to me, or I've seen this happen, this kind of behavior. I've seen certain things like with annoying people, but I immediately knew it at the time. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I think. It took me 25 plus years to realize what I'll tell you in 10 minutes. So this is about goals. Reaching a goal is losing a goal. And I thought, why does it take you 25 years? And also that some goals are just goals in themselves. They don't have any value in reaching for your own life. For example, if you build a house, then you can say, okay, I'm going to build this house. And then when you reach a goal, you lose a goal. But then it's different because you use it all the time. You live in it. So it's every day you think, fantastic, right? But with other things, goals are not similar like that. For example, you want to build something, build a model radio control boat, for example, and then you completed it, and you think, playing with it, that's really not interesting, not actually that interesting, steering it on the water, okay, done a few times, and then it's not interesting actually. So what are you going to do else? And what I realized, I think it was when I was 13 or so, I had this feeling once of losing a goal, and then I think, that's or reaching a goal and just losing it, and then I thought, okay, what to do now? I don't know what to do. And I solved it immediately by starting the next time 2 projects at the same time, projects, goals, whatever, hobbies, different types. So when one was reached, I could immediately switch to the next one. But there's more to tell about this, but it'll come in another video. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.